গিরিবরধারী যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধে জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধে জয় জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা জয় গৌর নিতাই জয় গৌর নিতাই জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ নিতাই গৌর হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল. Hare Krishna devotees will first read from Prabhupada's Lilamrita, and after that we'll recite and discuss one shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm sharing the screen to read Prabhupada Lilamrita. Just allow me a second. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Prabhupada Lilamrita. It is volume 2, chapter 38, and the heading of this chapter is No One Listens to a Poor Man. Bombay, February 8, 1972. Prabhupada met with Mr. N and reiterated that he wanted to move into the land as soon as Mr. N received the second 50,000 rupees. Mr. N stood firm on their agreement, and Prabhupada put the matter into the hands of the lawyer, Mr. D, for legal processing. Although Prabhupada was making the managerial decision, he wanted the GBC secretaries to take on the responsibility for these practical affairs. He thought it is better to use his energy in writing and translating books. If you, GBC, do everything nicely, he told his secretary, Shamsundara, then my brain will not be taxed and I can utilize my time completely to produce further books. I can give you Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Mahabharata, and Ramayana, so many. There are so many devotional works in our line by Goswamis. This administrative work is taking too much time. I could be discussing philosophy. My brain is being taxed day and night. Because of this, I am neglecting my real work. Aside from directly managing the Indian projects, Prabhupada was answering as many as dozen letters daily from devotees around the world. Why do they keep writing, asking so many questions? He asked his secretary. The devotees prefer to ask you personally, Shamsundar said, because their GVC men didn't always know right answer. They know everything by now, Prabhupada replied. I have given you everything. If you do not know the answer, they can find it in my books. Now I am an old man. Let me settle down to philosophy. All day reading letters, doing business, all night signing letters. This is not right. I want to be free from these things. The GVC can do everything. But it was not possible. As soon as Prabhupada would sense that one of his devotees was being cheated, he would immediately become actively involved. And his disciples continued to write him regarding important business and management decisions. Nor would he discourage them. His desire for retirement and exclusively literary work remained, but it seemed to be only a wishful thought, a dream. If his ISKCON were to develop, then there seemed little scope for his retirement. Hare Krishna, I'm stopping here. So we'll read from one sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Srinnatam Shakata Krishna Punna Sravana Kirtana Ridhiyantasto Hi Abhadrani Vidhunoti Shuricchatam Nashta Praesho Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. So today we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19, verse 7. And the heading of this canto is the creative impetus, and the heading of this chapter, a description of the land of Jambudvipa. And Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So I'm sharing the screen for that. Just allow me a second. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19 and verse 7. न जन्म नुनं महतो न सौभगं न वाङ् न बुद्धिर्न कृतिस्तोष हेतुः त्वयिर्यद्विसृष्टानपि नो बनौकशश्चकार सख्येवतो लक्ष्मणाग्रजः न जन्म नूनं महतो न सौभगं न वाङ् बुद्धिर्न कृतिस्तोष हेतुः त्वय्यद्विसृष्टानपि नो बनौकशश्चकार सख्येवतो लक्ष्मणाग्रजः न जन्म नूनं महतो न सौभगं न वाङ् बुद्धिर्न कृतिस्तोष हेतुः त्वय्यद्विसृष्टानपि न बनौकशश्चकार सख्येवतो लक्ष्मणाग्रजः. Hare Krishna, dear devotees who wants to recite now, can please do it now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I am reading the sloka. Na janmanunam mahato na shobhagam na vang buddhir na kritisto shahetuhu tvairad vishishtan opino bano kashas chakaro shakhe bato lakshmana grajaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Madhuri, Dandavat Pranam.
Na janmanunam mahato na sobhagam na vana na buddhi na kritisto shahetu tayyate vishrishtan apino vano kasash chakar sakhe bat lakshmana graja. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, devotee, anyone wants to recite? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please.
Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam na van na buddhi na kruti sosha hetu teryad vishrustan apino vanau kasash chakara sakye bata lakshmana graja. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dharma Pranam, I will also try.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please.
न जन्मान्युन्नं महतो न सौभाग्यं नावन्न बुद्धिर्न कृतिस्तोष हेतु जयर्यद्विश्रतन् अपि नो अनोपशश चक्र शक्यवता लक्ष्मणाग्रहज. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavata Pranam. Anyone else? Then we can move on to the synonyms. Any of the devotees can please read it out.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'll read it.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Na, not. Janma, birth in very polished aristocratic family. Ninyam, indeed. Mahata, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Na, nor. Saubhagyam, great fortune. Na, nor. Vakya, an elegant manner of speaking. Na, nor. Buddhi, sharpness of intelligence. Na, not. Akriti, features of body. Tosha hetu, the cause of pleasure to the Lord there by all those above mentioned qualities. Yet, because Vrisitan rejected Api, although Na, us, Vana O Kasha, the inhabitants of the forest, Chakra, accepted, Sakya in friendship, Bharata, alias, Lakshmana Agrajaha, Lord Sri Ramchandra, the eldest brother of Lakshmana. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. And any of the devotees who can please read out the translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. May I?
Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One cannot establish a friendship with the Supreme Lord Ramchandra on the basis of material qualities such as one's birth in an aristocratic family, one's personal beauty, one's elegance, one's sharp intelligence, or one's superior race or nation. None of these qualification is actually a prerequisite for friendship with Lord Sri Ramchandra. Otherwise, how is it possible that although we uncivilized inhabitants of the forest have not taken noble baths, although we have no physical beauty, and although we cannot speak like gentlemen, Lord Ramchandra has nevertheless accepted us as friends. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you. And any of the devotees, can anyone please read out the purport, please?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
In a prayer to Krishna expressing her feelings, Srimati Kunti Devi called him Akinchana Gochara. The prefix means not and Kinchana, something of this material world. One may be very proud of his prestigious position, material wealth, beauty, education, and so on. But although these are certainly good qualifications in material dealings, they are not necessary for achieving friendship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who possesses all these material qualities is expected to become a devotee, and when he actually does, the qualities are properly utilized. Those who are puffed up by a high birth, wealth, education, and personal beauty Janmaneshwara Shrutashri unfortunately do not care for developing Krishna consciousness, nor does the Supreme Personality of Godhead care about all these material qualifications. The Supreme Lord is achieved by devotion. Bhakta mam obhijanati. One's devotion and sincere desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead are the only qualifications. Rupa Goswami has also said that the price for achieving God's favor is simply one's sincere eagerness to have it. Laulam ekam mullam. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is said, খোলা বেচা সেবা করে দেখো ভাগ্য সীমা ব্রহ্মা শিব কান্দে যার দেখিয়া মহিমা ধনে জনে পাণ্ডিত্যে কৃষ্ণ নাহি পায় কেবল ভক্তির বশ চৈতন্য গোসাই Behold the great fortune of the devotee Kholabecha. Lord Brahma and Shiva shed tears upon seeing his greatness. One cannot attain Lord Krishna by any amount of wealth, followers, or learning. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is controlled only by pure devotion. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very sincere devotee whose name was Kholabecha Sridhar and whose only business was to sell pots made up of skin of banana trees. Whatever income he had, he used 50% for the worship of Mother Ganges, and with the other 50% he provided for his necessities. On the whole, he was so very poor that He lived in a cottage that had a broken roof with many holes in it. He could not afford brass utensils, and therefore he drank water from an iron pot. Nevertheless, he was a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a typical example of how a poor man with no material possessions can become a most exalted devotee of the Lord. The conclusion is that one cannot attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Gosai through material opulence. That shelter is attainable only by pure devotional service. অন্যাভিলাষিতা শূন্যম জ্ঞানকর্মাদি অনাবৃতম অনুকূল্যেন কৃষ্ণানুশীলনম ভক্তিরুত্তমা. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Hare Krishna.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति च पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं स्वाद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले प्रभुपादानुगामी श्री शुभ गोस्वामिने सदा दैन्यशीली शुभाभ्यय सर्वजीव कृपाब्दे गुरु शिक्षा सदाचार पालोकाय नमस्तुते। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशोतारिणे नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिशे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरु दीनतारणम्। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you all in this morning class of Srimad Bhagavatam and offer my Dandavat Pranam to you all. Although I am not qualified, but still I am doing this service because I have been instructed to undertake this service and it has given me an opportunity to purify myself. So I thank you all for your presence in this class and also those who has given me the opportunity and beg from all of you your mercy so that I can contribute something positive in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON and my Guru Maharaj to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu properly and glorify Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now coming to today's verse and its background of that, background of this verse, this chapter describes the glories of Bharatvarsha and it also describes how Lord Ramachandra is being worshipped in the land known as Kimpurusha Varsha. Today's verse is one of the prayers Lord Ramchandra is made to Lord Ramchandra by the residents of the Kimpurusha Varsha. And it is headed by Hanuman, the most faithful servant of Lord Ram, and Ashtrishena, he is the chief person in the Kimpurusha Varsha. Lord Ramchandra, as we know, is a classic example of an incarnation of God who descends for the mission and as given in Bhagavad Gita, Puritrana Sadhuna Vinashaya Dushkrita, that is to protect the devotees and to destroy the miscreants. So his life is a classic example of that. And the pastimes of Ramchandra clearly exhibits this. He came and to this earth to protect the devotees and to destroy or annihilate the miscreants, Ravana. So the devotees, when he comes to this material world, the devotees get the opportunity to offer their transcendental service to the Lord, as we know how the Lord Ramachandra has given his mercy to all those, even to the to the monkeys, who are not even human being. And so this is an example of how Lord is a dearest devotee, dearest friend of all living beings. In the earlier few verses also, the qualities or the qualities of the Lord Ramchandra has been described in the few verses. And in this present verse, we see that monkeys, those monkeys who got the opportunity to serve the Lord when the Lord came to this world in the Treta Yuga in Ayodhya, and they are expressing that the monkeys are feeling their expression of gratitude to Lord Ramchandra. They are telling that the Lord has bestowed His mercy for them, because in spite of the fact that they are insignificant, they are value in the society was insignificant. They have no material quality. I mean, in the society they have an insignificant position, and they have insignificant qualifications. But the Lord is still pleased them, and the Lord was pleased to them and has made friendship with them. So this is an expression of gratitude by by those monkeys. And the Lord is really actually, Lord is very much pleased when one surrenders to the Lord and sincerely serve Him. And when he does that, he forget his own personal comfort, coming out of his own personal comfort zone, or which is normally called material happiness. So one who voluntarily leaves his material comfort and happiness and attachment, these are all sense gratification due to opulence, beauty, position, fame, knowledge, all this, and serve the Lord with sincerity. When that pleases the Lord. And the most important thing in material life is not at all. I mean, whatever is considered as very important things in material life, as has been told, opulence, beauty, position, fame, knowledge, all these are of no use to the Lord. This cannot please the Lord. The most important thing is the devotion to the Lord, and pure devotional service is the only thing that pleases the Lord. Because otherwise, how these people, they are expressing their gratitude, and they're telling how these people have got the mercy of the Lord, because they had none of these qualifications, but still they have got it. And in fact, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord has explained in verse 926, Krishna has told to Arjuna that Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami pradatmana. Whatever a devotee gives him, even offer him potsum means leaves, and preferably tulsi leaves, and pushpam flower, and phal means fruit, and toyam means water. Whatever one gives with love and devotion to the Lord, that Lord accepts. It is not that Lord is in need of anything, because Lord is self-sufficient. He is happy within himself. But Krishna, when one offers this food with love, the Lord accepts it. That means he is accepting from those who are expressing their love for the Lord. In this way, otherwise there is no need for the Lord to accept this thing, because the Lord doesn't need anything. So he's self-sufficient. So, but he is giving the devotees the opportunity to please him. But who wants to please him, Lord accept their food. That is the crux of this verse. And bhakti is the most important thing. Without bhakti, no one can go near to the Lord. And by devotional service, that means bhakti and devotional service is the only means to approach the Lord, and no other condition. And as it's a better reputation, if one becomes a learned scholar, very rich man, a great philosopher, he cannot induce Krishna to accept his offerings. Only by devotion and devotional service, the Lord will accept. Lord will accept his offerings. And so this is the essence, or the essence of approaching to the Lord is bhakti. And Lord is also told in Bhagavad Gita, I think 1855 also, bhaktya mama vijanati. That means he can be, only the devotees can know the Lord, because he is not attainable by education, by philosophical thinking, by mental speculation. In no way one can approach the Lord by these material qualities. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, the devotees, 26 qualities of the devotees are described. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, of course, 28 qualities are mentioned. But in all these things, the first quality, all these things starts from devotional service. Without devotional service, no one can approach the Lord. The other, when one has devotional, sincere devotional, and it becomes pure, the other 27 qualities, if we say 28, or in case 25 qualities, they all automatically appear when one has devotional service. And from it is the beginning of the devotion, is the beginning of approaching of the path to Lord. The path to Lord is approachable and starts by devotional service. And there is a verse also that in Srimad Bhagavatam, where it says, Jashasti Bhagavati Bhakti, Jashasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana, Sarva Guno Tatra Samashate Shudha, Harao Bhaktascha Kuto Mahadguna, Monoratheno Ashati Dhautavai. That means all the good qualities of the demigods, or the exalted qualities, they are all manifested in a devotee, because but though one who is not a devotee of the Lord and who is devoid of devotional service and is engaged in material activities, how can they can have good qualities? And whatever they practice, or whatever mystic yoga or honest endeavor they do, maintaining their family, relatives, whatever they do, they are really carried away by, they are being driven by the material energy of the Lord, or the material energy of the Lord, and they cannot have good qualities. It is being told in that verse. In the purport also, if we look at the purport of this verse, Srila Prabhupada has also in the beginning has started with that. He has given Kunti Devi's prayer. It is in fact taken from in the Kunti Devi's prayer in Canto 1, chapter 8 and verse number 26. Janmo Shujya Sruto Srivir. These are the four things he has mentioned. And that and in this verse, Kunti Devi is expressing that to the Lord, that, oh my Lord, one who is on the path of material progress and who is trying to improve himself with respectable parentage. Janma means, who has taken birth in a good family. The Janma, it is mentioning that. So with a good parentage or respectable parentage, one who has got. Aishwarya means opulence, who had got opulence. And Aishwarya and Sruta. Sruta means education, because Veda is through hearing. So high education, and also Sri, and beauty, bodily beauty. They cannot approach the Lord. This is Kunti Devi is also telling. But who can approach the Lord? She is telling that, but only those who are materially exhausted. Those who have no material desires and actually approaching the Lord after that. Now we have all got material desires. How we can then approach to the Lord? And material advancements mean, in general, material advancement means taking birth in an aristocratic family, possessing good wealth, good material education, attractive personal beauty. These all material people are in fact crazy, you can say, for possessing this material opulence. And this is known as advancement of material civilization. In the present day, we see everywhere. If we look around, this is the path everybody is trying to do. Material people are trying to do. And but when they get it, these material possessions, when they get it, they get puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions, And as a result of that, endowed with this material qualification, they become puffed up, and they cannot pray to the Lord, oh Krishna, oh Govinda, because they think that it becomes they are coming down to a lower position because they are so much puffed up with their own personal prestige. They cannot chant the name of the Lord properly. So, but it is given in our Shastra that chanting the holy name of the Lord, once uttering the pure chanting of the Hare Krishna, chanting the Lord's glory, if one chants only one, pure chanting, that can take away all the sins one has committed. And in fact, it is not possible. All sinful activity that is committed by birth throughout his life get purified if one can chant the holy name of the Lord once. In a pure holy name of the Lord can be chanted, and it is not, in fact, not an exaggeration that is given. Actually, Lord's holy name has so much potency that that it can take away all the sin committed by a person, but one has to be pure. That is the power of the holy name. And but we must remember that depends on the consciousness of the person. What is the mental condition of that person? If one is sincere, then he can eradicate his past sinful activities by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Now, in fact, actually, it is not understood by a common man, because just like we can say that actually the soul is covered within the body. So it is put it in an it is an artificial situation we are put into. Just as we can say, if we compare, just as a person who is sick, and sometimes he develops with fever. So fever is an external thing. When the body is not well, fever appears in the body. In a similar way, when our soul is entrapped within the body, there is a sort of, you can say, material, just like fever develops within a body in a ill health body. Then in a similar way, the soul is covered within the body. So it has got a material disease. That is why we cannot understand the glories of the holy name. But the way for, just as the treatment for the sick body is to reduce the temperature. When you go to a temperature, the doctor tries to reduce the temperature. In a similar way, when we are when the soul is entrapped in a material body, the material fever or the material disease, what you can say, attachment for material thing develops. And the solution is, or the treatment is, to reduce the temperature, bodily temperature, just as for a ill body. In a similar way, we have our treatment, for a materially diseased person, as Prabhupada has said, the treatment is to lower the temperature for material attachment. So if we reduce the material attachment, in this way, we can come to a normal position, or find out where what we have to do. At that position, when the temperature, the material attachment ceases, then we can find out what is our real situation, and then you can understand that our relation to we have a transcendental relationship with the Lord, and at that time we can serve the Lord in the best way, possible way. That's why Kunti Devi is telling that akinchana gochara, anything who has got material things, material possessions, or he wants for material possession, material desire, in other words, he cannot approach the Lord properly. Of course, it doesn't mean that we are all free from that, but only through devotional service that attachment also goes. So it is at the same time, it is a process at the same time cure. It is a medicine and the process at the same time. So if we chant the holy name of the Lord, in this way we can free from our material desires and we can become attached to the Lord. Now, in this regard, Kunti Devi has told in her prayer that birth, wealth, beauty, intelligence, and beauty, these are the impediments for on the path of devotional service. But one may ask, one may say that in ISKCON, it is a preaching movement, so we often go to rich people, isn't it? We go to the rich people for preaching. We go to intelligent person, go to the universities and where good students are there. I mean, intelligent students are there. So apparently, it may appear that there is contradiction. But if we look into that, Prabhupada is explained in that when one has, so what, so if we take the life of Kunti Maharani, we see that Kunti Devi has all these things. I mean, if we say Kunti Devi, these are obstacles for progress to the devotion, for devotion or going to the Lord, approaching the Lord, these are obstacles. But if we look at Kunti Devi's personal life, Kunti Maharani is saying the obstacles as Janma. If we look at the life of Kunti Maharani, she was born in a very great family, isn't it? Even Jadu dynasty, Lord Krishna was born in that family, and Kunti Devi's father, Kunti Devi and Krishna's father were brothers and sisters, and in a similar, so she had a great Janmavadi birth. And similarly, she was wealthy at the same time because she was born in a rich family. At the same, she was married to Pandu Maharaj, and that he was Pandu was also a king, so he has opulence. And similarly, and now education. And if we say Kunti Devi, if she has high education, yes, she was certainly educated in the sense because her devotion and her prayers and everything has appeared in Srimad Bhagavatam. So how can you say that she was not educated? She was highly educated in that sense. And the last one is beauty, and she was also extremely beautiful because she was a prince and she was married to a king. So all that she had possessed, but she knew, in spite of all that what she is trying to say is that all these things are obstacles, but not a permanent stoppage for devotional service. Just as, giving an example, if there is an obstacle, we can overcome it. But if the door is closed or completely closed, we cannot enter inside. So what Kunti Devi is trying to say here, Kunti Maharani is trying to say here, these are obstacles. When people who have all these things, material things in their possessions, they cannot approach the Lord. These qualifications, and if they get puffed up, they cannot approach the Lord because when they get puffed up. But so it may act as an obstacle, but these are not permanent stoppage of devotional service. If one utilizes, as Prabhupada has told in the purport also, if all these qualities are utilized for the service of the Lord, when that is a proper use of their qualities. A person who has got opulence, if he utilizes opulence for the service of the Lord, that is a proper utilization. In a similar way, a person has got intelligence. If he uses, because with that intelligence, he can influence others. And in this way, if he utilizes it for that intelligence for the service of the Lord, or spreading Krishna consciousness, or this knowledge he or she has got, tries to influence the others, that is a proper way of utilization of his or her resources in a proper way. In a similar way, if one has beauty by itself is not an obstacle, but at the same time, if one gets puffed up, then it is an obstacle and it prevents one from approaching further to the Lord if he or she get puffed up. In a similar way, the last, so in this way, what Prabhupada is trying to say in this purport is that we have to properly utilize our resources, all that we have received from the Lord, and utilize it for the service of the Lord. Then it becomes a proper use, and then it doesn't become an obstacle. So it doesn't become an obstacle. So they are temporary obstacles but it can be overcome. But it doesn't prevent one from approaching the Lord. Just because one has all these qualities doesn't mean he cannot approach the Lord. And in fact, to give an example in this regard, then specifically for those who have opulence in particular, I'm talking about, they can. We have seen that when Arjuna, it is in chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna has asked at one stage to Lord Sri Krishna that one who is in a path of devotional service, if for some reason he fails to do that, he is not able to complete his he is not able to complete his devotional service and could not approach the Lord. I mean, could not reach the Lord by his devotional service. It is half done. So what happens to them? For him, he has lost the material enjoyment in this material world, and also he could not reach the Lord. So is it not that he has lost both? So, but Lord Krishna has told, no, it doesn't happen like that. Whatever devotional service one does, it never gets destroyed. So in his next life, he starts from where he has got it, and while telling that, he has told that he is born in a Shuchinam Simotam Griya. That means in a wealthy and in a devotional family he gets. Why then Simotam Griya? Because when a person has wealth, he is not obstructed from other ways to do his devotionals. He can do his devotionals if it's better than another person who is in a dire poverty. So poverty may prevent one to do devotional service. So that is why wealth is not by itself is not obstacle, but it can act as an obstacle. In this way, all the janma, that means birth, opulence, education, or intelligence and beauty, they can be obstacle, but one can overcome it also. And when one utilizes it for the service of the Lord, it becomes a wealth for devotional service at the same time. So this is what Kunti Devi is trying to tell here. And now we're coming to the stage of we are talking about the two things emerges from our discussion so far. That one is the difference between the attitude of a devotee and the difference between the attitude of a non-devotee. A non-devotee thinks that his possessions are because of his heart and labor, and he is the owner of his possessions and wants to utilize them for his personal sense enjoyment, or maybe for the family, maybe for other extended sense enjoyment. On the other hand, a devotee has a perfect knowledge. Who has perfect knowledge? He knows that everything that he has got belongs to the Lord really. So he utilizes it for the service of the Lord. And in this way, by serving the Lord, he gets satisfaction. And service to the Lord is the devotee's satisfaction. He doesn't ask for anything beyond satisfying the Lord. So that is the case with pure devotee. Now coming to the stage where Prabhupada is told about Kholabacha Sridhar. I think, Prabhupada has explained very nicely, in briefly, what Kholabacha Sridhar was, but I will try to speak a bit more on this point. So in Chaitanya Bhagavat, in Madhya Lila, I think Madhya Lila, yes. Madhya Lila in chapter 9, the description of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a description that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at one stage has shown to his devotees in Navadvip, Shat Prahariya Mahaprakash. Shat Prahariya Mahaprakash, Prahar means 3 hours. The day is divided into 8 hours. So 4 praharas in the daytime and 4 praharas in the night time. So in total, in a day, there are 8 praharas. So in calculation, it comes out 24 divided by 3, divided by 8, that is 3. 1 prahar is equal to 3 hours in the the time we are normally habituated with. So Shat Prahariya means 21 hours divine manifestation. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has displayed this Shat Prahariya divine manifestation in the house of Srivas, and it is told that, it is given there in Chaitanya Bhagavat, that one day Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu came to the house of Srivas. And normally when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu comes, the assembled devotees start to perform kirtan. And because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come in the form of a devotee, so this is a normal display. Normal devotees see. So whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes with Nityananda Prabhu, they start singing kirtan. But on that particular day, Mahaprabhu was in a different mood, and he sat on the throne of Vishnu throne, and as if he was not aware of what he is doing, but he gave the opportunities. That means he wanted to give the devotees the opportunity to serve him as Lord Vishnu. And in fact, he is non-different from that, but he gave the opportunities to the devotees present there on that day in the Shatprahorya Prakash. And in that case, when he did that, I'm trying to make it a bit briefly on that. So when they did that, they made the devotees present there. They were very, they prepared, they made his abhishek, offered obeisances, and then given him food, and the Lord take it. And after that, he also told them each once about their past life, and what they asked for. He also gave benediction. And after all that was done, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed one of the devotees that you bring Sridhar. So, and Sridhar was the other for about the Sridhar's life. To speak a few words on that, Sridhar was a small merchant. A small seller of it, and he was telling those who know it here. They may have in a banana tree. I think most of you have seen it, at least if you don't have it. Banana tree, there is a trunk and the leaves are there. The leaves are generally in the villages previously it was used. The leaves were used for plate for food, serving food, and the stem was used previously. That as you know, in the stem was filled. Different covers are there. If the covers are taken away, and with that, by cutting them, the small pots were made, and whenever there was a religious things was done, it was used as a pot, and they were cut and made different pots, and it was utilized. So these are the way the banana tree was used, and Sridhar was selling only banana. These are the things he did. Kola becha means these covers of the skin that was taken out from the stem, that was trunk of the banana tree, that was called kola. So he was selling this, and as we understand, and one can understand very easily, that it was a very small things, and there are very small profit also. So he was a very poor man in that state. It doesn't need much clarification to understand that he was a very poor man selling a message, and he made his life out of this, selling this, and so. And also that's why, as Prabhupada has also given, and it is there in Chaitanya Bhagavat also, that his house was very small. He was residing in a very small house, a thatched house, and the cover was, the roof was also torn in different places. During rainy time, the water was falling. So he was, in other words, a very poor person. But he was a great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And whenever previously, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was student, in his young days, and Sridhar was selling his banana skin and other banana things in the market, and they had a very nice pastimes. And Lord, it is told that Sridhar was so truthful that he's told he was like a Yudhishthir Maharaj. He never, he did not deviate. In India, people knows those who know. There is a bargain sometimes. People say, suppose in one price you have told $1, he said, no, 50 cents. Mahaprabhu will tell half of it, he will say, and in this way there was a bargain. But for other people, Sridhar didn't bargain, and only that one has to take it only with the price that he has fixed. So people knew it, that Sridhar's price is fixed, it never changes. But Mahaprabhu will come and jovially tell him to give it in the half price. So Sridhar will not give, and there he will sometimes Mahaprabhu will forcefully take it away, and with the loving exchange he was telling, you are making a lot of profit. You give, because you give 50% of your things to the Ganga Puja, so pass it on to something to me. In this very loving relationship was with Sridhar. But Sridhar knew the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a great, was no other, was a great devotee of the Lord. He thought in that way. So when he was called, in his Shat Praharya Prakash, he was called by the other devotees present in the house of Srivas Thakur. They went there. From the half of the distance, they heard that Srivas was chanting the name, the Hori, and in the mid of night. So they went to the house, somehow reached there, and when in the dark place, when they reached him, Sridhar was told that Lord has called you to go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has called you to come. Sridhar just thought for a moment, and he became unconscious, just thinking why the Lord has called him. He was in ecstasy at the time, why the Lord has called him. But subsequently he gained his consciousness. He was brought before Mahaprabhu, and on seeing Sridhar, and Mahaprabhu was greatly pleased. And Sridhar also became very overwhelmed, see Lord's Muslim chanting, because at that time Mahaprabhu was a different appearance at the time, and that has pleased Srivas. So at that time, Mahaprabhu told him, he was very pleased that Srivas has come, and they told him, you beg for like others were offering their prayers to the Lord. So he told, you offer your prayer. But Sridhar told, I am a poor man. I do have no knowledge. I can't do that. But as it happened for Dhruva Maharaj, here also, Mahaprabhu, by the blessing of Mahaprabhu, Saraswati, my mother Saraswati, sat on his tongue, and he started praising after some time. And with wonderful prayers, he prayed to the Lord. And then after some time, Lord told him, you ask me whatever you want, and I can give you, I can make you the king. But Sridhar didn't ask anything. He told that I pray to you that the person who was taking me the lips and the banana things, I was giving you to at that time. Let you become my Lord for life after life, and that is what I want. He did. That means Sridhar was able. Sridhar was a very poor person, but he knew that material things is unimportant in devotional life. So this is the difference between a material person and a transcendentally elevated person. Apparently, Sridhar was so poor, and people sometimes, he was chanting, even in the mid of night, he was chanting whole night the Lord's name, and people were thinking, the materially contaminated people were thinking, Sridhar was very poor person, so he cannot eat properly, so he's just chanting in this way, just spending his time. But it was not the case. He is a pure devotee of the Lord, and that is what we have to learn, that the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never hanker for any material object. They simply pray to the Lord for transcendental service, and those who have received the Mahaprabhu's merciful glance, they never look for economic development, because they know and sense gratification or neither mystic yoga or anything like that. That's why, because they know their insignificance as compared to the devotional service to the Lord, and so they ask for devotional having loving relationship with the Lord, life after life, so that they can ignore even the opulence of material, any extent of material comfort. And in fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to explain it, Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita, I mean, it is Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think it is Bhakti Rasamrita, his tale. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also, he has stated that the pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had by pious activity. Those who are looking after material comfort, and these are all, they may go pious activities, but pious activities is of no comparison with devotional service. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, also this verse is mentioned, what is taken from Bhakti Rasamritamrita. Bhakti Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Motihi Kriyotam Jodikuto Pilabhate Tatra Lolom Opi Mullam Ekam Janma Koti Shukitir no Lopyate. That means pure devotional love cannot be had by a pious activity in hundreds and thousands of lives. And it is only available by paying the price, and that is intense greed to obtain it, the love. And that is why Prabhupada is trying to, to the essence of this verse is that if we have whatever we have, these material things we have, that will not give us the road to the Lord. The path to Lord is obtained only by intense love for God, and only by doing devotional service we can grow that love for God. And when it happens, every other thing, material comfort and anything, even liberation becomes insignificant when we get the love of Godhead. And that is what Prabhupada has told in this present life. The present, in the Western world, he tried to preach the importance of devotional service or love for God, and that for which He has created the ISKCON. And it is our responsibility to see that message spreads everywhere and to all people, so that the people can get the benefit of that, or the love for Godhead is available for everyone, and we have to take responsibility for that. And in this way, so with that, I'm concluding, concluding. And if anyone has any observation, any questions, or any comments, please make it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maria Mataji. It is the body fighting over infinity.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, very nice class actually. You explained the importance of devotional service, and unless we come from the comfort zone, so opulences, higher education, and other opulences, so it is very difficult to attain Lord's prema. So that is the only devotional service. Pure devotional service is the only process to attain the Lord. So that you explained through the example of Sridhar, Kolavati Sridhar. So very nice story, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for your comments. And yes, Mataji, but one thing there's to say on that, that yes, for devotional service, material things are not enough to go to the Lord. But at the same time, whatever we have, whatever qualities we have, we should utilize it for the service of the Lord, and that way we can that way we can purify ourselves and can approach the Lord quickly.
Yes, Prabhuji. It's not like that you are not having opulences. You cannot have opulences. You can have, but you can use that opulences in the service of Lord. That is also very important. That is the humility. You can say humility.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And I think there is a comment on Maria Mataji. Just like fever disappears. Thank you, Maria Mataji, for your comments. Yes, the disease or the material disease can be, I mean, our attempt should be to reduce the material disease, just like a fever has to be reduced. Just as in an unhealthy body, fever has to be reduced to become healthy. In a similar way, our material desires needs to be reduced. I mean, the fever of material desire or the other for the last, I mean, material disease can be reduced only by doing devotional service. And when it is done, the fever automatically gets reduced. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any other comments, please make it. Thank you. So Hare Krishna, it appears there is no other person to make any comments. So I'm concluding the class. Hare Krishna. Vancha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय।
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
अभय चरण प्रभु की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Gaur Premanande.
हरि हरि बोल।